Hello.
To the piano bench. I was so funny. Kevin was just scrolling through one of the lessons and all I heard him say was, oh wow. Why are you saying oh wow?
Because in this lesson, we have sound slices.
What?
If you scroll down of what we're gonna do, thanks to Travis.
Oh, Travis,
Travis,
you
if you're watching,
angel.
you angel. So you guys can practice along on the Pianote website.
That's incredible.
With what we're gonna teach in this lesson. But yeah, happy Monday. How's it going?
I feel really good, actually.
You feel good.
Like I always feel really good.
It's because you have coffee in your hand.
Oh, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love coffee so much. But I missed everybody last week.
Yeah.
Like we weren't
It's been a while.
here and I missed you. It was
Labor Day.
It was some holiday that we know nothing about. It was Labor Day. Did you have any gigs?
Did I? On Labor Day?
Yeah.
I had a day off. Can you believe it? I rested, because rest is important, I found
On Labor Day.
On Labor Day, I decided to not do any labor.
Okay, if somebody explain this to me. How is it that it's called Labor Day, but you get the day off?
It's a great question.
This is the first question we have to answer today. Lisa, any extra questions? Oh, I told Doug, so I didn't tell everybody about my fall. I talked about on Singing Out. I had a little bit of an adventure where I was riding my horse through the river. I'm gonna set the stage.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. We have the beautiful Veta River. People come from all over the world to fish in this river. And there's fishermen fishing over here. And I'm like, I will ride my horse across this river. It was not very deep. And I'm riding and I'm so relaxed. I'm just like, la, la, la. And I see this salmon go bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm like, oh, a fish. And then the next thing I know, the fish is jumping right in front of my horse's foot. My horse is acting like something is for sure going to kill her. She's like twisting and bucking and kicking to kill the fish. And I went flying and let it goosh on my butt. I have a very sore tailbone. And I got soaking wet. Soaking from head to toe.
You feel okay though? You're okay?
I'm very sore.
You're sore.
I cannot lift in the gym properly right now. I'm just a mess. And I'm uncomfortable.
Well, that is understandable when you get flung off a horse, so.
There is just never mind, I'm gonna leave that alone. But this is really funny. Somebody on our YouTube channel just commented, what an irritating voice that woman has. We'll have to unsubscribe.
Oh
Cheers.
my God.
Cheers.
Great start to Monday.
Great start to Monday.
Oh man.
That was a comment on our YouTube channel.
Well, Lisa, I think you have a beautiful voice. I think you have the most beautiful voice in the entire universe.
You're so sweet. Hey man, I'm not for everyone. Sometimes I hear my own voice back. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, Sabrina says, YouTube is mean, with a bunch of exclamation marks.
YouTube is mean, that's fine. Nothing but love here. Okay, Kevin, we need to talk about something really important that just released inside Pianote.
We do.
This might be our most epic quick tip ever.
It was pretty epic. Okay, so this is called the Ultimate Guide to Ear Training. So if you're a Pianote member, you already have access to this as of 1 hour ago, pretty much.
Yeah.
So the Ultimate Guide to Ear Training is basically where I'm taking every interval, both ascending and descending, and showing you how you can hear those using popular songs to try and reference. So we also have a huge, huge practice assignment section. It's probably do you think it's the biggest one we've done?
Ever.
Ever.
Like, ever.
If you, it's gonna take forever to get to the comments because you have to scroll through all these assignments.
Yeah.
But we have ascending like major second, descending major second. But for every single interval,
it's insane.
It's massive. So lots of stuff to practice through there and practice your singing and trying to recall those intervals. So for YouTube members, those are gonna come out on Friday.
But you won't have access to the practice
But you
tool.
won't have access to the practice tool unless you come join us on Pianote.
Yeah.
But Pianote members, it is live now. Please go check it out.
It's so good.
Awesome video.
Do we have a clip of it?
We do have a clip of it. Let's show a little bit of this. I'm Kevin Castro, and today I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about intervals. Now, on YouTube, there's lots of videos about intervals, but there's not really a ton that explain the ascending and descending intervals. So in this one, we're going to show you everything so that you can memorize every single interval. We're gonna use popular songs to identify intervals by ear so that you can access them at any time. So learning intervals is so important because it's gonna make you a better arranger, it's gonna make you a better musician overall, and really help you analyze melodies. So when you learn this by ear, you're gonna be able to implement this in all of your playing, arranging, composing, everything. Let's jump into it. All right, so the first one is the ascending minor second. It's the Jaws theme song. So the minor second is a pretty kind of eerie interval, and it can sound kind of scary when they're put together. But if you put, like a sixth around it, it can actually sound.
Womp, 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 womp.
Womp, 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 womp.
It's so fun. Oh man, you guys are gonna love that quick tip if you're wanting to train your ears.
Yes.
But add it to your list because you're gonna have to watch it a lot of times.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ear training, it's not something that you just like, I'm gonna just watch this one video. It's something that like, it's super underrated in a musician's practice. Like when you're just practicing at home, it's something that should be practiced like daily or included into your practice routine. But it is also hard to practice by yourself, which is why we have those practice exercises on the Pianote site now.
Let's do a little quiz.
Okay.
Okay. Who can guess the following intervals? I'm gonna use my very irritating voice to demonstrate them. Here we go. That was so passive aggressive. Okay, hold on. Here we go. You're not allowed guessing.
Okay, I won't say a thing. We'll let the chat guess.
Okay. Somewhere. What is that interval called?
I think people who were in theory this last week will know.
Guys, they
Look
got
at
it
this.
so fast. Sabrina, Doug, Jim, Ed, Tony. Everybody's got it. Okay.
If Dan's got his son of a sandwich, what is that?
Okay.
Oh, man.
What about this one? Twinkle, twinkle.
I won't say anything.
No, but come on, guys.
Oh,
I made them think. Yes, Ed got it that one first. I think it was a fifth. Wait, no, hold on. Wasn't that Ed? That was Jim. I can't keep track of the chats.
look at this. We got Summer here.
Summer, are you here? Summer's here. We're gonna be talking about Summer in just a second.
Yes,
Actually,
we are.
got some important stuff to talk about Summer.
Very important stuff.
We actually have a really cool show for you guys today. We're gonna be talking through some amazing topics, and at the end, we have a very special Student of the Week feature to do, which we'll talk about at the end of our show, but that is something that is gonna be coming up.
Yeah, it's a very special day today, too. It's also Ben Folds' birthday.
Ben Folds, who here knows Ben Folds? Like, not personally, but have you heard of Ben Folds? Ben Folds, he's just I think a genius, actually.
So, like, when did you hear about Ben Folds? Because I've only just recently started listening and finding about who he is.
She's a brick and I'm drowning. It's Ben Folds 5, man.
Yeah, well, I've looked it up now, but I didn't know about it before.
Incredible songwriter and pianist. It's his birthday.
It's his birthday today. And so we have a little clip here to celebrate his birthday. It's him, it's crazy. You can watch the full video on YouTube, but it's basically him composing a song with an orchestra in 10 minutes. So he's like, okay, cello, you're gonna go doon, 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 boom, boom, boom. And he's like, in violins, and you're gonna go like this. And he's doing this live, like on the spot.
It's crazy.
And then so we have a little clip of what it starts to sound like when he starts to put this all together. So let's watch this quick clip of Ben Folds.
Let's take that there. Okay. So let's, and then you can bring anyone in and out that you want to, but I think I'm probably almost over my time. Well, I had to write a song in 10 minutes, so let's just start at 2 or close to it. 1, 2, 3. For more than 45 years, the JFK Center for the Performing Arts has served as a living.
Okay, so in that clip, he'd like already composed the song, and I was like freaking out a little bit because Ben Folds has a little bit of a potty mouth. I was like, oh no, what if he sings swears when we show them on our show? I don't know. But it's totally worth watching the whole thing. It is mind blowing. And I think it just highlights like the possibilities when it comes to composition.
Totally. Yeah, he's very talented with his songwriting. Like that's one of his best known qualities.
So speaking of songwriting and composition
And arranging.
we've launched our latest coach for Pianote, Summer Sweesing. What a sweet human being. What an incredible pianist and Summer came in and taught an entire course on arranging, and she used Canon in D as the foundation for this. So we're gonna introduce you to Summer here. We've got her full coach feature inside Pianote. We just launched her Canon tutorial on YouTube as well, so you guys can get a little bit more from her there, but check this out.
It's just been this constant source of relaxation for me. It's almost like meditation for me, I guess. I believe my knowledge of the piano helps me arrange music because I have a very clear understanding of how to both write bass lines and melody and harmony lines. I first started arranging music when I was in high school. I remember my friend Thomas had given me a copy of Hybrid Theory, and it was my first rock album that I ever listened to, Linkin Park. And as soon as I heard it, I just thought to myself, I want to be able to play this on the piano. Not only did piano allow me to relate to other people in a different way, I mean, it gave me my entire career. I did not think I was going to be a musician. I thought I was going to be a lawyer since I was probably 12. As soon as I got to a job at a law firm, I was studying for the LSAT, really focused on going to law school. I remember literally spending every single second of that time still at my desk, sometimes simultaneously eating with one hand and transcribing my arrangements with my right hand onto random paper. And I realized I just loved music. I needed to do this. Then I kind of just took a chance on myself and piano and went for it. And it's the best decision I've ever made. So what sparked my interest in arranging music for other artists is when I was living abroad with my now husband, then boyfriend, and he showed me the YouTube video of Metallica playing with the SF Symphony. I remember watching it and being like, oh my goodness, every single artist that I like should be doing this. And I figured I would just do the same for my favorite bands. So I started arranging for piano and strings for Thrice songs and Circus Revive songs in hopes that one of those bands would see it and think it's kind of cool and maybe hire me to do some sort of arranging for them. And that's essentially what happened. I believe my knowledge of the piano helps me arrange music because...
Woo! Just a little tidbit from Summer there. You can come spend some time with her inside piano in her coach feature. It's amazing. And if you're joining us on YouTube and you're not a Pianote member, Truman, can you link them up with a free trial?
Yeah.
So you can go in and watch the lessons so you don't miss out. Also, if you go quickly sign up for the free trial and come watch us inside Pianote, you'll be able to get all the practice stuff we're about to do together.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Kevin, how did we end up here? Why are we doing something that's called Diatonic Minor Chords?
Well, Lisa has always told me that her favorite thing that she got taught once upon a time was diatonic chords.
Actually, that's true.
So for myself, I love major chords. Major chords are so beautiful, right?
That was so pretty, Kevin.
That was so pretty, but I personally prefer minor chords. I don't know, I just hear...
Ooh.
It just feels like...
Kevin, that was so moody.
There's a lot of color in there, right? It's so much more colorful. In my opinion, I don't know. It's good to know both. There's a time for major and there's a time for minor. So today, we actually had a question come in and it was about diatonic minor chords. How do you know what chords to play in a minor key? And that's something that we get asked a lot because there's only one major scale. But Lisa, how many minor scales are there?
There are 3!
3 minor scales.
I knew that. I was
We
just
have-
double checking.
Just double checking. Natural minor,
Natural.
harmonic minor.
And I got this one. Melodic minor. Now, okay, hold on. Before we get too far into the land of minors, I just want to clarify for anybody who was like me, perhaps, and only was introduced recently, or maybe never, to the words diatonic chords. Can we just define really quick, what does that even mean?
So diatonic chords are chords that are inside the key. So what I mean by that is if I'm playing an A minor scale, so if I go an overhead view on the piano here, I'm playing all the white notes. That means that every single one of these notes has a chord that's also attached to it. So in this key, this is A natural minor. So we're gonna go over what all the chords are in this key. But first off, before we jump into the chords, we just have to quickly review the scales. So I'm gonna start on A. You need me to wait for something?
We're reviewing the scales.
Yes, we're gonna teach them, or we're gonna learn all 3 different types of scales before we jump into chord line.
So we can find out what chords belong to the scales. Okay.
So A natural, we're gonna start in A minor just because A minor is all white notes, so it's nice and easy to work off of. So A natural minor is kind of the same as C major, but it's just starting on A, from A to A, all the white notes.
Same exact keys.
Exactly, all the same white notes. So this is our natural minor. This is the easiest one to play. Our second scale is gonna be the harmonic minor. So harmonic minor is almost the same except for the second last note. We're gonna go up a semitone. A, B, C, D, E, F,
I call this 7 up.
G sharp,
7 up.
A, yeah, 7 up. And it has a very distinctive sound, right?
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
That one again is called harmonic minor.
It's my favorite minor scale.
All right, and the last one is melodic minor. So melodic, there's a couple different ways you can think about it, but melodic in the key of A is gonna go like this. A, B, C, D, E. It's kind of like the first 5 notes are the same as the natural minor, but then the last few notes are kind of like an A major scale. We go to F sharp, G sharp, and A. Or you can raise the 6th, raise the 7th, and then go back to A. The thing about melodic minor is on the way back down, it's actually different notes. So one more time the way up. But on the way back down, you have to do a natural minor. Okay, so those are the 3 scales that we need to know before we jump into all these chords.
All right, pop quiz. What are the 3 minor scales called? And go. 3 types of minor scales.
Yeah, it's you gotta remember those names. There's 3 of them. The blank minor, and the blank minor.
Minor. Ooh, Tim for the win today.
All right, so let's start off with natural minor. And do you have your iPad handy?
Oh, funny you should ask.
This
I've got
whole
it
thing?
right here. This whole thing?
All right, let's see
go.
if we can share.
Oh,
Oh, that is so nice, so
I love
easy.
it so much.
I love technology sometimes, only sometimes. Okay, so
Can I write on this again?
we do have this as a resource on the Pianote site that you can download as well. And there are also some practice features if you want to practice along with this later on.
Oops.
Okay, so.
Oh, dear.
Are we able to write on it?
You know, just ignore me. I don't have an without the owner password. Kevin, you didn't give me the owner password.
I don't know what the owner password
I can't
is.
save the dot. Oops.
Hey, it looks like you can draw on it. Okay. Like I said, I only sometimes love technology. And then there's.
Here we go. We're just gonna hope.
We're just
for the
gonna look
best.
like this. Okay. Okay, so natural minor. If you take a look, the root of all of those chords are all white notes. So for example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. So this is the order for the natural minor chords. So can we jump back to an overhead for a second? So right here, we have A minor. And basically, if I take the same position and I move everything over one, my second chord becomes B diminished.
Crunchy.
My third chord becomes a C major. My next chord, D minor.
Love it.
The next chord, E minor. Then we go to F. F major, I should say. G major, and then back to A minor at the end. So those are the chords in our natural minor scale. So what happens when we add a G sharp in there? All of a sudden, all the notes that have G in there are gonna have to become G sharp. So does that change up a lot of chords? Well, let's see. So harmonic minor now.
Okay, so that's where oops, again, Lisa, again with the marking it up. So that's where our,
You wanna go back to iPad for a sec?
yeah.
Okay, let's jump back to iPad.
So harmonic minor here is where we end up with the G sharp.
Yeah, so
That's
if you
where that
take a
was
look,
coming
there
from.
is a G sharp right near the end. That one that says G sharp diminished.
Yes.
in that harmonic minor. So
We also have that C augmented.
So it does change a few different chords. So if you notice, we have a C augmented now, which is different. Can you scroll up so they can see the difference between the first two? There we go. So we now have, let's see, there we go, perfect. C has now turned into C augmented. E minor has now turned into E major. And now G chord has turned into G sharp diminished.
So by changing one note to a sharp, we've given ourselves a whole bunch of different ingredients.
3 new chords to pull from.
So cool.
So all of a sudden, if you're writing in the key of A minor, you don't just have like the natural minor chords to choose from. You can start implementing some of these other chords. Now, C augmented is a little bit harder to pull off in an actual song. You might try playing that because that's a crunchy sounding chord. Take a listen to this.
It sounds like the beginning of The Entertainer. Ooh, that sounded pretty.
That's kind of cool, but those are chords in the harmonic minor, land, I guess you can say. So we have our A minor, we have our B diminished, we have C augmented, D minor, E is going to be another one that changes. That's not E. Okay, so E chord, F is the same, G sharp diminished, which is one of my favorite chords to borrow, and then A minor.
So coming back to the iPad for a second, and just some of them in the chat were asking, it's basically like you're taking the scale and you're walking up the scale with the 1-3-5 shape, just using the ingredients of that scale. And that's exactly what's happening here. So
Exactly.
I just wanted to
So
circle the
all those chord qualities
difference.
you can use.
It's not gonna let me edit it.
Okay, well that's okay.
I'm gonna stop trying.
All these chord qualities you can use starting on any scale. So if you know how to play C harmonic minor, it's the exact same rule. It'd be C minor first, then D diminished, then E flat augmented, and so on and so forth through the scale. So this is how you can figure out all the different types of chords in every single type of key.
So cool.
So let's move on to the next one, melodic minor.
Melodic minor.
So melodic minor, we have an F sharp and a G sharp. And that changes, if you compare melodic minor to the natural minor, just, can we see both of them in this? I don't know if we'll be able to. There we go.
Oh,
Thank you for just a split second. So take a look. A minor is the same and everything else is different. Every other chord is a different type of chord.
Whoa.
Okay, let's jump to overhead now. Sorry for all this juggling.
This might be the main reason why melodics exist, just to give us cool chords.
Really cool chords. Okay, so here's our first chord. We have A minor. Instead of B diminished, we have an F sharp. So now this turns into B minor. Then we have C augmented again, which is C, E, G sharp, because we have that G sharp in here.
Nasty.
Then we have a D major chord. Then we have an E major chord, because of that G sharp. Then we have F sharp diminished, and then G sharp diminished, and then A minor again. So those are the chords, the diatonic chords in melodic minor. So here's the thing. Here's an important bit of information. A lot of the times, these chords are gonna get mixed and matched. So you don't only have to stick with your natural minor chord progressions. You can take, most chords from natural minor, and then you can pick one from harmonic minor, or maybe one from melodic minor, and then make your own chord progression. So the last line that we have here is the most popular minor chords I kind of labeled out in this PDF here. So let's come back one more time to the iPad.
Kevin, you doll, look at this.
Look at this. So
These are the most popular. What makes these the most popular?
These are the ones that are most commonly used. At least in contemporary music, these are the ones that are most commonly used. So I had to add a couple different ones. So most of these are from the natural minor scale. Those are the ones that, if you're playing a song in a minor key, it's most likely in A minor and you're using some combination of those chords. However, you can see they're not exactly the same as natural minor. There are two differences. In the chat, can you tell me what the two different chords are? There are two chords that are different from the most popular minor chords there compared to the natural minor chords.
Wait.
I have to look at the chat so I can see if anyone's getting it right. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Andromeda's got it. Cuthbert's got it. Okay, so there are two different chords. Lisa, do you know what the two chords are?
G sharp diminished?
Yes.
And E.
G sharp diminished and E are the two chords that are added a lot.
So those come from the melodic
So they can
or the harmonic?
Yeah, so they're both in harmonic or melodic, but there's a reason why those two are most commonly used. So those ones, they're kind of, you'd borrow them from harmonic, but the reason why those two chords, they're almost the same chord. E major, let's go to the piano here for a second.
Yeah, why? This has,
So,
I need to hear the why.
here's the key of A minor, just so you hear the key. So if I'm playing chords, typically if I'm in A natural minor, I would play E minor. But if I do it with that E major, like it says there, there's E major. And if I make this an E dominant 7, it resolves a lot nicer to that A minor chord, because a 5 dominant chord, like E7 here, E dominant 7, it has the G sharp which wants to resolve to C, and then it sounds really nice as a resolution. The other thing why G sharp diminishes in there, take a look at this. I have E dominant 7 here. If I take off this E, what do I have? I have G sharp diminished.
Wait. What sorcery is this?
E7 and G sharp diminished. You can kind of exchange those two chords for one another. So if I'm playing a chord progression, the first time I might play E dominant 7, and the second time I might play G sharp diminished.
Wants to be a cat. 'Cause a cat's the only.
Oh yeah. I'll get it. And even in that song, they do the E7 to the A minor, and then they go in. Anyways.
Okay, hold on. Back the track up. So the geniuses at Disney were using these tricks.
These tricks have been used for so many songs. And so now this should hopefully unlock a whole new vocabulary for you when you're picking chords, whether you're composing or you're playing songs in a minor key. Now you have access to all three of these scales and all the chords that they provide.
I want to just take a moment to sort of circle back on this a little bit, because I think for some of us, some of us are very well behaved and practice our skills and don't have any arguments. But some of us other types may have to do a little more persuasive tactics for skill practice. And so for this, it's when you look at what scales can unlock, it all kind of makes sense. So it's like if the end goal is songs, whether you're playing ones you know and love or creating your own, and you work backwards from that, it's really all comes back to the scales. Mm-hmm. And so if you were to tell me, Lisa, practice your melodic minor scales, I'd be like, take a hike. That is not what I want to do. But if learning all of those gives me the ingredients that I can then pull from to create really cool chord progressions, you might just have me convinced. So
let me show you an example of a song that uses different types of minor chords. Or different chords from the minor scales, I should say.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take, for example, House of the Rising Sun. Why don't we just play it first, and then we'll break it down. So we'll kind of work in reverse.
You mean I can use this microphone?
Really? I wasn't prepared, says Lisa. You mean this thing?
Oh, you don't say? You mean it's time for a song?
Okay,
I'm gonna give a really cool intro?
Yeah, let's do a little intro, hold on.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. Boom!
Okay, so those chords that I was just using, they're all from all these minor chords that we're talking about, all these minor scales. And if you watched really closely, you would see that when I went from E7, right after I went to G sharp diminished before I resolved on A minor. That's just like a little, if anyone caught that. I'm not sure if anyone caught that.
Anybody caught that, because you were using all of these things.
I was using all those things.
All these things, which you
All
now
those
understand.
tricks.
And if you don't like fully grasp all of this yet, please don't let that stress you out, because I think you have to kind of hear it
Yeah.
over and over and repeat and practice and put
Hear
it into
lots
practice.
and hear what the different sounds kind of give you. So
yeah.
let's kind of analyze these chords. We're going to kind of double this. We're going to analyze it and we're going to learn it as the chord progression of the week.
Chord progression of the week. Here we go.
Oh, there it is. Weekly chord progression.
We're so
Okay.
fancy.
Okay, so overhead view, let's go. Our first chord, A minor. We would ask, what scale does this come from? Well, A minor is all those scales. The harmonic minor, the melodic, and the natural. They all start with A minor.
I like this.
Okay, so that's the first chord. So what I'm gonna get you to do, if you're playing along at home, you're gonna go like this. You're gonna hold an A minor root position on your right hand, and left hand we're just gonna do an arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just doing A minor arpeggio one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the second chord, C major.
That comes from the natural minor.
That comes from natural minor because C has all white notes. Okay, here comes our first interesting chord. The next chord is D major.
Who can guess which scale this one's from?
So what note do I have in here? I have an F sharp that's not a white note, right? So that should tell us, okay, well, it can't be natural minor, and harmonic minor only has a G sharp. So then it has to be from our melodic minor. And then we have an F chord.
That one could be natural or harmonic.
You got it. So let's say it's from natural, because it's just all white notes. So one more time for the chord progression. 2, 3, 4, then C chord. We went from A minor to C. And then we went D and F. But then the second time, we're going to go to E.
E major.
E major. So where does E major come from? What scale are we taking this from?
Dun dun dun.
We're taking, this one has a G sharp. We're going to take this from the harmonic minor.
Love it.
So all of a sudden, we've taken a D chord and an E chord into this A minor cool chord progression. So D chord again, that comes from melodic minor, and the E chord comes from harmonic minor. We go back to A minor, then C, D, F, does it one more time. And the last time, we're gonna go back between A minor, E, and A minor like this. Okay, so Lisa, see if you can play along while I play that arpeggio kind of pattern.
What am I playing?
Or sorry, sing along, sing along.
Okay, I was like, whoa, air piano?
Air piano. Okay.
Okay, hold on, I need my microphone for this.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Oh, I was born ready, let's
Okay,
go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one.
How nice is that?
So nice.
That is so nice, hey?
So now everybody doing the chord progression of the week and playing through these chords is gonna have a very different, maybe more evolved understanding of what they're playing and why.
Exactly. So now when you're playing the song, you're actually going to understand, oh, like how did they come up with this D chord? How do they come up with this E chord? Where do those come from? And especially when you're in a minor key, the one trick I always like to do is the fifth chord can always be turned major. So for example, in A minor, the fifth, in A natural minor, I should say, is E minor. But I always like to make it E major just because it sounds a little bit nicer when you resolve into that minor key. For example, you kind of hear that in, what's the song? Hallelujah, in the bridge.
Oh yeah.
how's the middle part?
The fifth, the minor fall, the major leave so high. Love fucking
E major, and then it goes to A minor. So you can hear it there. They took a chord, E major, away from this, and that's in the key of C, but they kind of took that G sharp and borrowed that chord from the harmonic minor to resolve on that A minor there briefly, and then it kind of goes back.
Oh, that was pretty. Dang, Kevin, come on. Okay. Okay, well, stop it. Now
My bad. Sorry, I got a
don't
little
even tell
jazzy.
us about that
Got
right
a little
now.
jazzy. I'm not gonna explain that.
No jazz allowed. I'm just joking.
No
We'll do
jazz
that another
allowed.
day. Jazz is coming right up. Okay, friends, there you have it. Chord progression of the week: A minor, C, D, F, A minor, C, E major.
You got it.
And
Nice
if-
work.
Thank you. I just read off what you wrote. And if you come back to watch this later after we're live inside the Pianote members area, you'll be able to access the actual practice feature to practice some of these chord
Yeah,
progressions.
you can download the PDF too if you just want to have that for reference, what all the chords are in a minor key. And the thing is, I just wrote them in A minor, but you can take that same idea in any single key.
Yeah.
So that you can know, it should, in theory, expand your chord knowledge times 10.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool quick tip. You love diatonic chords, I love diatonic chords, but now you've learned them in minor land.
All right,
Beautiful.
friends. we have a special student of the week this week. And this one's a bit difficult, if I'm perfectly honest with you. We have had a student named Neha who learned everything. Well, I was told from her family that she learned everything from Pianote. So she was a Pianote member, enjoyed our lessons, participated in our community, and she passed away recently. And I wanted to just take a moment to pay tribute to her and her beautiful playing and her hard work and her passion for the piano. And I want you to know who she is because I think you're going to find her inspiring. She was so diligent with her practicing. And in the video that we're going to show you, it's going to show some of her efforts. Like she's practicing the song, which she goes and then enters a piano competition with, which she then wins. And it's a really challenging piece. So I wanted to introduce you, if you hadn't already seen her inside the Pianote community, to Neha. We're going to take a little listen and just enjoy what she brought to Pianote and the world.
Serial number 3, Neha Venkatesan.
வணக்கம் என் பேர் நேஹா. நான் வந்து எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பை லுடோவிகோ என்னாடி ப்ளே பண்ண போகிறேன்.
Instrument music keyboard event 6C வந்து winner Neha Venkatesan, first runner Uditra Shivakumar, second runner Samikta Sudhakar.
So that was really hard. I know it's yeah, you know, what do you even say after something like that? What an absolutely beautiful talent. And I think that it's very honoring to her memory and what she was so passionate about to be enjoying her talent together like this. So thanks for taking a moment with us, friends.
Oh, she's such a natural too. Just flowed so easily on the keys and.
Yeah, from what I heard from her parents, been chatting a little bit, is just that piano was her real passion, and she had hoped to come visit the Pianote studios on a visit to Canada. And yeah, so I'm not really sure. I've got some ideas for honoring her memory in the future, but how amazing that we had Neha as part of our community. So thank you all for watching that with us and celebrating it. I shared a link to her YouTube channel if you want to go see some of her other videos and be inspired. Whew. Yeah, Ed, that's a really special statement. Ed says, I think in the 10 months I've been with Pianote, I have at least as many friends here as I do outside. And that's very true. I feel the same way. And Mary, I don't know how old she was. I can't remember, but she was in her teens. She wasn't very old. Mm-hmm. So we're going to move on to some questions.
Yeah.
Yep. And let's find them, because now I'm all in dither and distracted and I can't think in a straight line. So where are they? Help me.
Here, I'll send this to you. But
hold on, no, I found. Is this it?
You got it?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the one.
Is this the questions?
That's it.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Patricia's asking about the power of chords.
Oh, that's all you.
It's in an email that I sent, flagged its availability, but I want to get it on the Pianote site. Yes, the power of chords is on our Pianote site. It's technically my coach feature, which is hilarious to me because I'm like, oh, I have a coach feature. I'm a coach.
Coach Lisa.
So you have to go to the packs section of Pianote or courses, and it's under like my coach page, and you can find it there. I'm sure Joy will help us find the link, but if you're a Pianote member, you have access to the power of chords, and you can watch it anytime you like. Okay. Next, we have N. Hankinson, who is a beginner. When is it appropriate to start looking at training packs? Some seem to be geared more to beginners than others, and I'm not sure if it's appropriate to try to tackle them yet. It would be useful if the pack showed a method level you should have reached before attempting them. You know, I would say if you've completed method level 1, you're probably safe to start trying out some of the packs. Everybody's like a different goal and a different natural skill set, but a lot of them will accommodate a beginner. For example, the power of chords, you'll be able to just jump right into. Destupefy your left hand, or faster fingers you could do anytime after you've completed level 1. But then, you know, when you get into things like Erskine's course or Victoria's, it gets a little more challenging. And I do believe we have levels on the courses, but safe bet, go explore after level 1 and see what happens.
Yes, I agree. All right, Lynn's Sweet Notes says, Hi, Lisa and Kevin. Firstly, let me just say that both of you are such amazing and inspiring teachers, and I want to thank you for that. I'm glad I have a lifetime membership. Oh, thanks, Lynn. Secondly, would it be possible for you, Kevin, to explain why and where disjunct and conjunct motions are used in music? Also, Kevin, can you please demonstrate on the piano examples of these techniques? I have never heard of these terms before in my piano journey. Many thanks. Disjunct and conjunct motion. Do you know what disjunct or conjunct motion is? I feel like I've heard that term before, but I think I know it as something else. I think it's kind of referring to like intervals, like the distance between notes.
When I hear those words, I'm like, is that a grammar? Some like grammar words.
Disjunct and conjunct, like, yeah, I haven't actually come across that in my piano. I think it's just steps and skips, right? Yeah. Steps versus skips. Okay.
Oh, we can talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Okay, we know what it is. We just know it as steps and skips, not the scientific term.
Stepping up, skip up high.
Okay, let me explain what this is. So, when we're on the piano, and let's just say I'm taking C, D, E, F, G. So there are something called skips, where you're gonna skip a note, and you can kind of keep on going up the piano like this, skipping. Those are also called intervals of a third when you're skipping a note every time. Or you can go up by step, where you're always hitting the next note. And lastly, there's chromatic, which you hit every single note. So those are the 3 types of motions that you can have on the piano. As for which one is conjunct, or I can't remember, disjunct, that I do not know. But there are steps versus skips. That's another term you can call them. All right.
Helpful. Also from Lynn is working on de-stupefy your left hand 5 days a week. I also practice right and left for scales. Woo! Chord inversions, arpeggios, and Hanon. Question is, would it be benefit to me, my left hand, my fingers becoming more supple and free-flowing, to take a right hand melody and play entirely with my left hand? Yes! Playing melodies with your left hand is hard. Kevin, could you, actually you're a bad person, you probably can do it. Can you play the melody to House of the Rising Sun with your left hand? Yeah. No. Can you at least tell us that it feels a little harder?
It is very hard. And it takes a lot of practice. Like, here, what song do I think? I try to throw it in.
Ugh.
Right here, I'm gonna do it with my left hand. My right hand's just kind of. It's very hard, and it's a very cool technique that you can throw in lots of songs, but it is very difficult. But if you can get, Jesus Molina said one thing that I thought was very cool. He's like, your left hand has to become a right hand. You essentially have to have 2 right hands when you're playing piano, and be able to play the melodies on both hands if you want to, be the best that you can possibly be. So that's a great exercise to try and do.
Fully agree.
Fully agree.
Natalie is asking, I'm going to be auditioning for a music therapy certificate program. That's awesome. And I need to play pieces accompanying myself singing and playing. I already know what song I want to audition with on guitar, but I'm having a hard time with the piano one. Any suggestions for a good pop song for an audition? Let it be, let it be. I love Let It Be. I find, that 1-5-6-4 is pretty straightforward. It also feels very music therapy-esque to me. But you could really go with anything. I mean, we've got Let It Be in the method. We have Hallelujah in the method. I think the best advice I can give you, though, is to pick a song that you just know really well, so that you don't feel like when you get a little bit nervous, you can be as connected to the song as possible.
That's a good tip.
That's a great tip, Lise. Okay. Michael MKM. Dear piano, dear.
Dear.
What is the difference between method and foundation? As a beginner piano player, which one should I start with? The foundation existed. Then we made the method to improve on the foundation so that we could give you more information and make it a more complete journey for you. So we didn't want to get rid of the foundations because some of you were working on it, but we didn't. Long story short, the method is where you want to be focusing. Foundations is great, it's there, it's a slightly different learning approach. I feel the method's more comprehensive and it's a little bit more gradual. So that's what you should work on, method. And yes, you can combine with anything in the members area. You can be going through your method lessons and add in any of the packs or courses or songs or quick tips. It's all designed so that you can create your own learning journey. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Options.
That's very awesome.
Options. Oh.
Where are we?
Here, pianissimo. I'm giving you this one.
Okay, let me see.
This is all you.
Where
It's
is
about
it?
autumn
Oops.
leaves.
I have a lead sheet for autumn leaves provided by Jordan that calls for an F major sharp 4. Is that the same thing as F major sus 4? If there is a sharp 4, that is a hint that there is a tritone.
No!
Tritone! The tritone is in the chord.
Tritone.
So,
Gloom.
if you play, what was the chord? F major sharp
4.
4. I wonder if that was like F major 7 sharp. I'm trying to think of like
It might have been supposed to be F major sus 4.
You think?
Yeah.
It's possible. If it was supposed to be a sus, I mean, I'll have to look at that. I'll take a look at the lead sheet.
But a sharp 4 is not the same as a sus 4.
No, a sharp 4 and sus 4 are different. So here is sus 4. And if you're playing F major and it asks for a sharp 4, That means you would have to add the B note because in the key of F, the 4 is B flat, but a sharp 4 is B. So you'd have F, A, B, C.
Is that The Simpsons?
It does.
The Who's? Yes. That's the Jetsons? Da-na-na. Is that, did I just get The Simpsons and the Jetsons mixed up?
Same thing.
Okay, as long as they're the same thing, we're fine. Thanks, Truman. Sweet!
So yeah, it's a different type of chord, and like you can make those sharp 11 chords, or sharp 11 is the same thing as a sharp 4. It's just when it's an octave higher. So a thing I like to play, like when I'm ending songs, let's say I finish on a nice big 2-5-1. If you don't know what 2-5-1 is, don't worry. But I'm gonna end a song on a C chord, but instead of ending on a C, doing a nice like triad, I might play like a D major triad over C in my bass, because that gives me the 9, the sharp 11, and the 13. So this is kind of like a cool ending hack. So here it goes. And then maybe end on C. So sharp 11, sharp 4s can sound really cool sometimes. That is an ending that Billy Joel uses at the end of New York State of Mind. At least the chord.
Don't get me distracted by Billy Joel.
Sorry.
D.P. Kraut. I'm really enjoying piano and learning a lot. One of my biggest struggles is how to play a song using chords along with the melody. I can play melody lines pretty well, but when it comes time to add the chords, I'm like a beached whale. I understand how to form the chords, understand triads and versions, but trying to fit them in the song is a bear. I also play guitar, and playing the melody and rhythm is definitely not easy there either. Any advice would be most appreciated. How to play a song using chords with the melody. So I guess it's like if you hear a song like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Did I pick a terrible key? Can we put that in C?
Yeah.
Somewhere. How do you pick the chords? I feel like this is a piano bench topic of its own.
How do I pick the chords in that song?
Yeah, so if you have that melody, how do you know which chords to add to it? And we're talking normal chords, Kevin.
Normal chords. Okay. So, I mean, I know the song. Are we assuming that I've never
You've
heard the song?
never heard it before.
So I just know that melody?
You just know the melody.
Oof, yeah, this is a big topic. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go about it.
You know what?
Ideally, here's my short answer. For this, the best thing that you need to do is know your diatonic chords.
Oh my gosh, did we just learn about those?
That's supposed to be a circle. Know them in the major key and know them in the minor key, because if you do, and I know that I have a C note, 2 C notes at my beginning. Let's say that Lisa just wrote this beautiful song called Over the Rainbow.
I did, it's my original.
And she said, I want it to be happy. And I go, okay, well, C, let's start with a C chord. And then the next time they go to C, they go to A minor. But if I didn't know that the song existed, I could go to like an F chord, because there's also a C in this F chord. And then it goes from B, G, A, B, C. So I could either do like a G chord, or I could go to E minor. Yeah, there's so many different ways you can go about this, but ideally, if you want to know what key you're in, and match the melody to the chords.
How to harmonize a melody is a quick tip. If you type that into the search bar, I go into this in a little more depth, and Kevin and I will put this on a list for a piano bench topic, because it's a really good question.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we have to do a lightning round with these now.
Okay.
We're at the end of our time.
Let's see here. Are we on Alan?
Yeah, Alan wants the basics of various grooves. I'm looking for just enough to get by if I were playing accompaniment for songs in various styles, pop, jazz, bop. This is a bit, Alan. There's no just the basics of this. This is a big deal.
That's a whole course. That's like 4 courses right there. Okay, here we go, super fast. If I'm doing Happy Birthday as a waltz, I'm gonna go in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I'm doing it as a ballad, I'm gonna really slow it down. I'm really do lots of
So beautiful, very open and free. It's time for
If
bossa
I'm doing
nova.
it as a bossa,
How do you
I
count
have that boss line. or that boss line, the bass line.
Amazing.
1, 2, and 3, 4. I have a whole course on this bossa kind of rhythm called Latin Piano Essentials. And if you're doing jazz, I would do like a walking bass line of sort of. There it is.
So
there's a bunch of different genres of how to kind of get
go
around.
through the method, go
Yeah.
through Sanga's pack, and go through
Yes.
Jesus Molina's pack, and then go through Kevin's Latin jazz.
That's the short answer.
That's the short answer, and then I love that question, and I'm also putting that as a topic for another piano
my.
bench. So really quickly, Vaughn is asking where they can find tracks of songs so they can listen, like Stand By Me. Honestly, YouTube is my favorite place to go, or you can use Spotify just to find tracks and listen and get a feel for the songs. George is asking about Stand By Me. It has an E minor chord. This might tie in with what we learned.
Okay.
And when playing the C major scale, we know that C has no sharps or flat. The E minor chord has no accidentals. I decided to check out the E minor scale and found it has an F sharp in the scale, but the F sharp is not used in the chord. Why is the F sharp not used in the chord, yet it is the third degree of the E minor scale?
Okay, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. Yeah, the third degree is very interesting because the thing is, if you're in the key of C major,
Yep.
you're going to use what's called the relative minor. So the key of C major and A minor are the ones that have the exact same notes. Once you start experimenting with other chords, you're going to run into accidentals like that. So E minor does have, or the scale of E minor has an F sharp in there. But if you wanted to start on E and go to E using all the white notes, then you're getting into something called modes, which is a little bit more advanced, and that is called E Phrygian. But that's another topic for piano.
We've got you guys. These are big questions.
These are yeah.
What have we done?
These are not.
What have we created? This is actually a great question for In Theory.
It is.
I'm going to tag you in this question,
Modes.
Kevin, so that you can add this to your In Theory
There we
live
go.
show. Kevin does a live show called In Theory every week. When is it?
Every Thursday at 11 Pacific time.
So if you like theory and you're a Pianote member, he's live, just talking theory every week. So again, Truman's got the third. How many of the days of the trial is it? 7-day trial. 7. I almost said 30 and then I would have been in trouble. 7 days free access if you want to check some of those things out. Also, Tim, can Kevin do a lesson on how to make chord charts more interesting beyond riffs and fills? Adding in melody in some places and just making songs cooler, I think.
Oh, like how to take like a lead sheet and make it
More
fancy.
better.
Yeah.
Let's put that. I think we've got our next 3 months of the piano bench sorted out. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
That's going on for a topic. Kevin, when I'm in a boring meeting at work with no keyboard to hand, is there any exercises you can do without a keyboard?
We have a guy named Truman right beside us who posted on social media recently. Truman, do you remember this exercise?
No.
Can we bring Truman on?
Truman, you
Truman?
remember it. Truman, it was the one with the...
This is Truman, everybody!
Truman! Hello! Oh, Truman is here.
Okay.
What was the exercise? Here's
There
the table.
was an exercise where you had to go like this.
I'll put
or...
this like this so we can all see it. Okay.
I can't do it to save my life.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
well, let's try. So if you're at your... You remember what it was?
Yeah. You gotta alternate your fingers.
You have to
Feel it.
alternate. Okay.
Okay,
So-
so alternate these fingers right here.
These two?
Yeah, and then these ones.
Okay,
No!
so, and it's tricky for me too, but here's what you need to do. Okay,
I can't do it.
here we go.
I can't do it to save my
So,
life.
put all your fingers, and you can try this at home right now. Put all your fingers down on a flat surface, and right now, what I want you to try, put finger 2 and 4 down, and try to lift fingers 1, 3, and 5 all at the same time, kind of like that.
What? That's not one.
You're gonna feel like one of your fingers, like my pinky's shaking.
You're
if
gonna
you,
forget what number of fingers you have.
yeah, 1, 2, do that 5 times, and then swap. So now, try to lift fingers 2 and 4 up.
This is the
This
worst.
is a little bit easier.
Way smarter. Way smarter. This is a 300-year-old exercise.
This is a 300-year-old exercise. So, Kevin, if you are bored in a meeting at work and you just do that, or you're literally anywhere.
You may shout out of frustration.
They're gonna know. that
They're
you're
gonna know you're not
focusing
paying
on something else.
attention.
You're like, ah! Just
Oh,
of the
goodness.
meeting.
And just so everybody knows, Truman is like the genius behind all of the Pianote social media. So
Yes.
if you're enjoying us on Instagram,
This is Mr. Pianote himself.
this is Mr. Pianote
So
himself.
good to see you all.
Also known as Mr. Tuna, the synth
Mr. Tuna,
synth
the
person.
synth.
of all the synths. Okay,
Yes.
there's more questions.
Oh, it keeps getting longer.
Okay, we have to go. Chester, are there techniques to learning to place my hand without looking at the keys? I can't read notes and look at the keyboard at the same time. Totally normal. Neither can most people for the first few years. Don't stress about it. Just try not to study your hands, glance down as you need to, and then back at the music. Practicing things like 5-note scales or full scales with your eyes closed, have a sense of humor, will help. Rupert, if I can play hand independently pretty well, wait, can you read this one? I'm done.
Oh. Wait, did you? Yeah, okay, Rupert. I can play hands independent pretty well, except when they are playing different rhythms. Is there a lesson on rhythm independence and hand independence?
Go to see Kevin's Latin jazz course. And break your mind.
Either mine, but yeah, we do have some lessons on hand independence.
Anything hand independence, you can pretty much count on as being rhythm independence because we're trying to play different rhythms between the hands.
I've even done a couple student reviews on that, but even if you type it in into the search bar on piano, and you'll find a bunch of stuff.
Favor says thank you. We say you're welcome. And Emily,
welcome, Favor.
before we go, this is our final thing, Kevin.
All right.
Play something with the, Roman numerals. 4, 5, 6. Is that a 6?
No, it's so I'm assuming they mean like a minor 4, a major 5, a minor 3rd, and a minor 4 again. So here's the minor 4, F minor. Let's go in the key of C. So this would be F minor to G, there one, to E minor, back to F minor. What is that in minor even, is what the question says. So we're going, typically the 4 chord would be F, but since it was written in lowercase in this question here, lowercase means minor, so it's going from F minor to G to E minor, and then F minor again? That's kind of obscure sounding for sure, but hey, you could use it in a couple different situations, I guess. But that is what that would sound like.
All right, friends, we're leaving you with verse 2.
Oh, she says,
Wait,
I
don't have
mean,
verse
okay, hold on. I mean,
Wait.
6, 5, 3, 4. Okay,
What?
let me try this one more time, real quick.
6,
Then the 5,
5,
then 3.
3. Ooh, pretty.
Yeah, that minor 4, what I like to do even more than that is to go from like an F major and then turn that into minor, because that leads really nicely back to C.
Okay. My phone just told me I have a meeting
You're supposed to be in a meeting right now, okay.
very shortly. Also, I just want everybody to see, they can't see this. Wait. Minnie Mouse is on my watch face, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Oh wait, come back, Minnie. She taps her little foot. Isn't he cute? That's all. All right, what are you gonna play us out with?
The sun makes no difference who you are. Anything I don't know words.
Let's pretend that's it. Okay, we're gonna do something crazy here. Can we make this ragtime now? Just like you're leading up to?
Ragtime?